Alright, I'm going to make this update quick because it's starting to rain and the forecast is calling for a lot of rain and warm weather. So we're going to try to get get some seeds in the ground. So let me show you what I'm working on today. It's late March, still a little bit early to be planting the main crops, but one thing I'm going to plant today are some peas. I've got literally a handful here that I saved from my garden at the place we lived before we moved here. So I'm going to get these planted out. We're also going to put in some spinach, some cabbage, and I'm going to plant a little bit of clover for the bees, about a 1/4 acre. So let's get to it. We'll probably have to buy some more peas since this really isn't a whole lot, but it's nice to have kept some seeds and to have something left over from last year's harvest. Instead of planting the spinach in a row, I think what I'll do is plant it in a patch here at the end of the winter wheat. I'll plant spinach about 1/2 inch deep. And at maturity, the plants should be about 6 inches apart from one another. Pretty small seeds, you just gotta sprinkle them in. It's hard to space them too well beforehand. Right next to the spinach, I'm gonna do a little bit of lettuce. These seeds are so small that they come in a packet within a packet. So anyway, it's a pretty small patch, so I'm just going to plant maybe a few square feet and see how we do. Never really had too much luck with lettuce, but then again, I've always lived in pretty hot, dry climates until now, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this works out. There are actually a lot more seeds than I expected in here. I knew lettuce seeds are small, but I think this will go quite a bit farther than I originally thought, so maybe I'll put in a few more small rows of that, see how we do. So what I think I'm going to do is put in a border of lettuce around that patch of spinach I just planted. It's starting to rain, so I better hurry. The last job of the day is to plant some clover. This is enough for a 1/4 acre. We're planting about half that today. So here's why we're planting the clover today. We're hoping to have a nice crop to feed the bees. It also attracts other deer and wildlife, so it's a good thing all the way around. Windy day like today, it's really beneficial to be able to throw these seeds up into the wind and let the wind scatter them evenly. These seeds are really tiny. It'd be really difficult to just put these in a spreader. What a lot of people do is they'll mix this with a large amount of sand or topsoil when they spread it just to get an even coat. It really doesn't take much clover seed to get what you need to do. Like I said, this is enough for a 1/4 of an acre. It's really not much seed, but anyway, the wind helped us out today. We were able to spread the seed evenly, so hopefully in a few weeks we'll have some clover. You may have seen recently that we posted a picture of a giant crayfish on our Facebook page. Let me show you where these guys live. They're everywhere. So there's a hole right there. I mean, it's just about big enough for me to put my hand down in, and they are just covering this field. The reason is that the water table is really high. If you dig about 1 foot to 2 feet down, you'll hit water anywhere on the property. And so what they do is they dig these holes, and they kind of live down there in the water table. They dig these burrows. It's a little alarming at first. I didn't know what they were. Thought maybe they could be snake holes or something like that, but nothing so scary, just a little crayfish. These guys have taken over, but who knows? I guess it's a little soil aeration. Can't all be bad. So anyway, there you go. Just a quick recap. We planted a little bit of clover. We got the lettuce in. We got the spinach in, and we planted a row of peas from last year's garden. We also have some onions in there, as you saw in part 1, and our winter wheat is waking up and growing nicely, so hopefully by about May the wheat will be harvestable and we can mix that in with our chicken feed. Before I forget, one more quick garden update. I've got some good news here. We've got some growth. This is a forsythia bush that I took a cutting from as I was leaving when we moved out of our old house to come here. It looks like it made it through the winter. It was in the ground for most of the winter. I decided to pot it and try to take a little bit better care of it when we got some of those sub-zero temperatures earlier in the winter. So anyway, looks like this one's doing well. Hopefully we can get this one to grow and split it and get plenty of forsythia bushes. That's one of my favorite bushes, with the bright yellow flowers right around Easter time. Looks like that watermelon finally sprouted. Well, it's the first day of spring, and that means one thing. It's time to plant our sugar baby watermelons. So to get the watermelons, the first thing you gotta do is you gotta plant your sugar baby. So we got our sugar baby here. What we're gonna do is you wanna put their toes in the dirt, maybe about 6 inches, give them plenty of sunlight, plenty of water, and just watch them grow. By the end of the season, we'll have about 50 sugar babies.